Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Pirates Life, Rum and Riches. This game just came through the Greenlight system. Today's April 17th. In fact, it just came out today. It just became available. I happened to jump onto Steam and was looking around a bit and saw this guy on the new release list. I don't remember seeing the early access designation, come to think of it. So I think this is done as far as they're concerned, but anyway, we've got this pirate game. You're stranded here, you've crashed your ship, and you've got to make do with your surroundings. And that, you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, that sounds about right, right? This is what we do here on the channel. So that's what we're looking at today. Now, the description for this is it is a 2D strategy game, city builder with an isometric camera, where you take on the role of a captain of a crew of pirates. They got shipwrecked on a deserted island. You'll need to take care of the crew, their needs, their hunger. You get the idea. Basically, they're going to try to mutiny against you unless you do something about it. So let's jump right in here because I think that things can go poorly pretty quickly. So when I bring this window up here, we've got all of our workers. And for those of you who have played Banished, this will probably look very familiar. I think it's laid out the same way. It shows all of your people, the jobs that they can do, and you don't assign specific people to do tasks. You just slot them in based on the buildings you put down. That's why there's a 0 max. So again, I do want to get this started right away. I played around with it a little bit and seemed to lose very quickly before, maybe because I sped things up. But so we're going to go ahead and throw a lumberjack. What do they call that, actually? They just call it a lumberjack. So we're going to put that out there. Now, we have our crew on the boat, and roads are very important. When I first started this, I was like, how come my people won't come out to do the work, for example, here? That's because we need to build a street to the work. So we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way down here. You can see the message there. Lumberjack can't reach target. So that should take care of that. So we've got that set up. Now, we've got all kinds of different buildings here, and they have various requirements and everything. We have resources along the top. So we are, of course, going to be gathering more resources. Let me get a fishery going here so we can kind of focus on food. We're actually going to throw down, say, 2 of these. Yes, let's do 2. And a road to them. Something like this ought to work. So let's see, we need to assign 2 people to that task, or those tasks. So that's going to take care of our food, start to gather some fish. We'll start gathering wood, and then we do need a place for everybody to hang out and eat. So we're going to make a galley really quick. Let's put this here. And then a sawmill for the wood, which was, there's the sawmill. We'll go ahead and put this guy here. Okay, I'm feeling like I can take a little bit of a breather now that we've got people started on these things. So once again, we have resources along the top. The things that we want to build require resources, and some of our buildings can actually be upgraded. For example, our main building here, we can actually upgrade this. And this allows us access to more of these types of buildings. And I think some other things as well. So a big part of the game, once again, is gathering these resources so we can survive. Now, another part of it is that we've got resources here that I think there's a few resources here we can't actually gather or make ourselves. Tools might be one of them. And so another big portion of this game is that we're actually going to be building ships so that we can send raids out. Now, if I kind of go through this really quick, we've got the first button down here shows our buildings. We've got the people. I brought that one out before. We also have an overview here that shows what people are thinking of us. Again, we have to watch this. We got to be concerned because people are going to try and mutiny if we're not taking care of their needs. So that's what that is all about. We do have a window to start a raid here. So this is what we would use when we start making some ships. We can actually decide which ships to go of these types, how many crew we want to send. Certain ships can only have a certain number of people. The food that we want to send, you see we've got baked fish here, so we could send some of that along. And then it will give us a percentage up here, the chance of success. So anyway, all of this is, the goal here is to gather everything up so we can send these raids out and get resources. I was going to say these things, these tools. So we do have the flag up here. I'm pretty sure, I was trying to remember if this was the indicator of how people are right now and overall happiness. We also have a compass meter here, and if the red kind of goes all the way back around into red, our red finger here, and the marker on the compass, it says that if it comes back around into red, that's when we're getting noticed by the Navy and we're going to start to have some issues. So anyway, that will be something to keep our eyes on. Now let's go ahead and get some more buildings going. We want to get a quarry, and we'll set that over here. Grab some road to get to it. Something like that ought to work. And we'll set people to the quarry. So there we go. We have things going. Now you can see the people carrying things around here. They'll have numbers over their heads. They kind of move everything around. As we select the building, we've got this kind of area circled here. So the things within here are all kind of within reach of the main building, which is great. They can bring things back to here, and they can be basically pulled from this by other people. Now we do want to jump in here. We've got planks, as you can see. We've got planks going on from the sawmill, which is great. Logs coming through here. And we can see that if we want to upgrade the main building, and it tells you kind of some information right there. I literally just pointed to my screen, by the way. It tells you information right here. That's great. You guys can see that, right? So you could see that in order to upgrade it from level 1 to level 2, we got 32 planks, 16 stones, 6 tools we need. So right off the bat, you can see we don't have tools, and that's going to be one of the things we're going to want to go get. Now, I think you might be able to make tools eventually, but when you're starting out, I think that you get those from raids primarily. So let's see, we have a carpenter unable to reach a tavern. Probably because we don't have a tavern? Let's go ahead and get one of those guys out here. Let's see, that's this guy. So we do want to put the wharf out too. That's what we're going to end up doing, putting out for boats. Let's go ahead and get one of those out here. No, I just realized what I was about to mention to you previously was that I saw mention on Steam, people talked about Tropico 2 Pirates Cove? I think that's what it was. And this one being pretty similar to that. I have not played that, but for those of you who have, please do leave a comment and let me know what you think, how similar this is. I've actually been meaning to go look into that. I thought, oh, really? Tropico 2, huh? I might check that out. I haven't played any of the Tropico games. None of them. I really need to do that sometime. Okay, as you can see here, I have the wharf selected and have started working on a sloop. So we can get one of those going. Now, they actually describe these ships. They kind of have 3 different kinds. One can carry a lot, but doesn't have a lot of military stuff on it. The other one is full-blown military style. Lots of cannons and everything. And I think the other one was kind of more middle ground. I actually don't recall offhand, come to think of it. But I went ahead and made the first one. Actually, they do have a brief tutorial on this, walks you through some of the basics. I'm covering a lot of that stuff right now. But yeah, this is the only boat I've made. So I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and start with one of those. We'll get this guy made. Slowly coming along. Now, if I jump back over here, I had shown you this, the window to start a raid. We can kind of select the ships and everything. We also have military information here, so we can see what we have at sea, what we have in the wharf. You can see we're building a ship. And then you can see our current inhabitants and their level and everything. So that's what that guy does. We do have a timer as well. We can speed up the game, slow it down. I think this went up to 20-something times. But in one of the worlds I started, I was barely in here and said, oh, let me just speed this up. And maybe 10 seconds later, the game ended. Everybody just totally threw me in the brig. Pulled me off of my throne. Locked me up. But right now it looks like everything's going pretty good. You can see the nice smiley face up on the flag here. Resources are coming along pretty well. Let's go ahead and bring this back up. We do have one sloop. So we can, let's see, does it give the description here? No. Okay, so I think it was the tutorial that gave the description of these. Okay, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and say, sure, one sloop. Why not? Let's go ahead. Rations, we only have 7 baked fish. We could put like 3, hit enter. So you can see the crew is not going to be very happy about that. And we don't really have anything else going on here. So it might be best to kind of wait until we've built up some more food. Let's see, we've got fish, right? Just make sure 2, 1. These are coming in. We have the galley set to make baked fish. I don't think we can make these other things. We don't have what we need to do that. Right now it's an all fish diet. Let's jump into the tavern and see. We do have, it does say baked fish, 23 on here, but we don't have access to that. I'm not sure. Maybe it holds on to some of this. Doesn't want to send all the food away on a mission. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a raid started here. We do have 18 baked fish. Let's first select the ship there. We will go ahead and grab 10 rations. And you can see our storage is now capped. That's why I chose 10. That would max that out. Let's see. It does say we can have 2 crew, right? So we're going to throw 2 crew on there. So we are max there. You can see we are 100% on crew, which is very good, obviously. And the fleet is at 75%. Chance of winning at sea. So I'd say that was pretty good. We don't really have anything else to go on for the ship. So we're going to go ahead and hit start. You can remember, you can see that this says the settings will be saved. So you could kind of send a similar fleet out again. I'm going to go ahead and hit remember on that. And we will go ahead and click start. Now if I jump over here to the raid, you can see we have the progress meter moving up here. We've got a fleet of 1 of the sloop, that being the first number there, 2 crew for it. So we could sit here and stare at this and hope, or we could bring the speed up. Try to get this thing really going, and then maybe slow it back down to make sure we don't we didn't miss anything and have a mutiny on our hands. Now that said, there's no status popping up behind here, so we're probably good. We'll slow it down to 2. So this should be just wrapping up. Just a minute. Any second now. Any second now. We'll speed this up one more. There we go. Cool. So you can see that the raid was successful. We had no losses. We do have new inhabitants. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. When you go out on these raids, you actually bring people back. And then, of course, we got all of these different resources, including 75 gold. And once again, you can see these resources up here, all listed up here. So, yeah, we got all kinds of cool goodies. Let's go ahead and close this down. Now, interesting detail about this game. They have, apparently in the tavern, what did it say specifically? I want to make sure I get this right. I think we actually get to see that here. Oh, we don't. Okay. Maybe it was in the tutorial. There's something about this, though. Placing pirates, a place for pirates to eat and drink, satisfies need, hunger, and drunkenness, consumes food and rum. They're not stating it here, but I had read, either in the tutorial or on the Steam page, something along those lines, that a female is needed to work at the tavern. That's like what the pirates are going to want. They want a female to work there. Now, I think what it was saying was that if you go, for example, here on the barmaid, and we've got one selected, that that's going to pull a female. So my assumption is, you can see that they even have Lady of the Night over here. So my assumption is if you have 0 females, you're not going to be able to fill this role at all, which would be bad because the tavern's kind of an important thing. So raids are important in that element as well. I think it's an interesting choice to have something like that be, so gender-based, but it is what it is. And I actually don't even know. I didn't actually pay attention to the crew when I started to know if I had. We have a Rachel here, Rosamond. Maybe that sounds like a female name. So, maybe you always start with one, and now we've got a second one. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's something to consider. If you're saying I have people, why won't they be a barmaid or anything? Apparently, the requirement there is female. And actually, seeing the job here, Lady of the Night, was something I didn't notice before till just now. So I assume by lady they do require a female character for that role. So anyway, again, just something interesting to consider, I suppose. Okay, I've dropped a new building out here. Let's see, we have... What was this called again? They called it the depot. That's what it is. Does this not say depot on it? It does not. So anyway, this is kind of like a storage area for items. You can see the large circle here. So it's kind of like a, I guess like a marketplace if you're thinking of Banished. I know I mentioned that before, but honestly, when I look at this, it really reminds me of Banished. So I keep thinking in those terms. So this is kind of like a market or a storage barn or what have you. So anyway, I thought I would throw one of those down because I hadn't made one of those. I actually did send the sloop back out, same one that we had, on a mission. You can see the progress so far, and I also started work on another sloop so that you could have multiple raids going, or you could send 2 against a village. There are different types of raids you can conduct. Let's see if we bring this back up. So we have village or sea target. So we could be throwing in some ammunition, a couple different kinds of ships and everything, in order to really go after a better reward. The interesting thing there was, let me bring this back up. You can see that the various ships actually have different... oh, no, these probably don't line up, I'm just realizing. I don't think it's meant to do this. I thought, oh, okay, this guy requires level 2 crew, and the frigate requires level 3 crew, but that's probably not the case at all. Anyway, disregard me. You can see our raid was successful, 66 gold this time. I think we got 75 last time. A number of different materials and everything in here. We've got all kinds of things here. You can see the tools we have 2 of right now. I was hoping that we would get more of those, but apparently not. So we do have 2 sloops, so you can see when we set 2 of them, it's 100%. Now, going against the at sea, oh, we can click this multiple times. Treasure fleet, fishing fleet. Let's go after trade. Whoa, 15%. How about a fishing fleet at 60%? Let's try that. We'll throw 4 crew in there. We're going to throw in, we have 20 storage space, so we'll do 20. So odds are a little bit lower, but we're going to go ahead and start a mission to go raid a fishing fleet, it sounds like, while everybody else continues to work away. Okay, our raid should be coming back any moment now. They're out at sea. Keeping our fingers crossed for success here. Let's go ahead and speed time up a little bit. I thought there it comes rolling in here. Raid successful. Excellent. Very cool. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, we got no tools out of that. But I guess we were raiding a fishing crew of some sort. And you can see we actually did get fish out of that, it's among other materials. So, alright, I guess that was to be expected. That'll work. We'll have to do some other kind of mission and see if we can have a little bit better luck. I would imagine the trade ships would be great to attack, but at 15%, whew. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we need to be upgrading some ships and having some better stuff going on. Okay, we're going to send out another raiding party. This time around, you can see we have village here, but if I select, that's what changes it. And you can see at a town, our odds get greatly decreased. And the Navy fort, yeah, that's a little rough. So let's see, let's do one more. 30%? Yeah, I don't think so. Even if we change this to 20... 42, it wouldn't change the the possible fleet success. So anyway, yeah, that's probably not the best way to roll. Let's go ahead and stick with village. We've got the food, the crew, the ships. Let's go ahead and send those guys out. Ammunition. Oh, but we're already at 100%. Yeah, we don't need to throw away anything else there. So we're going to let that run on out there. Now, when we look through some of these other buildings on here, you can see that the forge is here. This would actually allow us to produce tools. You can also see that we have plank stones and tools required in order to make this. And I once again pointed at my screen. Don't ask me why. We've got 3 areas, 3 bits of resources that we need. We have all 3. We still cannot build them. Now, I will be totally honest with you. I'm not exactly sure 100% why this is. I think it's because we have to upgrade this main building first. But I can't do that because we need 6 tools. So this is what I'm talking about, where from what I've seen, you're supposed to be going on raids and you'll get the tools, and then that will let you upgrade things and then make a forge and then start making your own tools. So anyway, that's why we have raids. That's why we send them out. Let's go ahead and speed this way up. Let's see if we can get that to jump up. And then we'll dial this back just a bit. Going after a village. There we go. So again, another successful raid. We got 2 more tools, so that's close. We have 4, but we need 6 in order to upgrade this building. So that is not going to be super helpful. Now we could build another sloop, and that might increase the odds if we were to go against, say, some kind of trade ships or something. But I'm thinking that we would just stick to the 2. Go ahead and do our normal kind of filling here. And see if this time around, maybe this time around, we can get the 2 more tools we need to upgrade our main building. Okay, look at that. We were successful, and this time we did indeed get 2 more tools among many other things. So we have 6, yes, looks about right. And there we go. We should be able to get this guy upgraded. And that's pretty cool. It looks like a fort that's kind of built from the boat. That's pretty cool. And indeed, over here you can see we now have 2 more rows of things we can make. Now, of course, in order to make the forge, we still need 2 tools. So we are a little bit behind there, but hey, that might just be one raid or so. But anyway, I think I am going to leave it at this. Like I said, I came home today, jumped on Steam and saw this and thought, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. By the way, this game is just $5. It's pretty interesting so far. It feels a little simplistic, probably doesn't have a lot of depth there. Obviously, I haven't played beyond sending some of these raids out or maybe moving to a new area of the island, so maybe that's a little unfair to say that it may not have the depth I'm looking for. But my assumption is that we're going to kind of move and kind of build another place similar to this. Obviously, I could really get into these upgrades and start building out in this area, which is a cool concept. I would actually be curious to know if you could kind of move back and forth between the places. If I pan out here and look around, you can see that I can go to a different part of the island and everything, so maybe we can kind of float around the other side and check that out. I am not entirely sure. But you know what? I think I will leave it to you guys. Go ahead and leave me a comment and or a like in the video. It would really let me know if you guys want to see maybe a follow-up to this that gets more into the extra stuff of maybe moving or making some of the other ships. Let me know. Like I said, the focus here was just going to be a very quick, let you know that this game was out there, that it's pretty inexpensive at $5, and it really kind of fits in with a lot of the stuff that we do on the channel, just kind of casually out here building out your area, gathering resources, and kind of doing your own thing. So I just thought I would just jump on, show you guys, and leave it at that. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.